What? And come here. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Abby, and today I'm going to be crocheting Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot. I have to say also that I didn't feel like this set was going to take very long, but I've been constantly procrastinating it since I finished the other set kind of sooner than I was expecting to. So this one, I was like, I have a whole month to do it, and then it always ends up being like way close to the end of my perceived time frame. Like always, I made myself little pattern idea things. These are on very bright pink Post-its. You're gonna notice one is missing. I did the third one on a notepad, and it's not very detailed or looks very good. So that one's missing, but it looks a lot like the stuff on here. As you can see, I did Pidgey. These are the Pidgey pieces, and this is somewhat of what I did for Pidgeotto. They're all relatively gonna be the same because they're all birds. This one I'm hoping to reuse designs pretty much all the way through, like one specific bird body pattern that I just use and size up as my crochet hook size up. Anyway, without much further ado, let's crochet. Hello everyone, welcome to the voiceover portion of this video. So it has been a little bit of a while since I last posted a video, and part of that is because I took a little vacation for a couple of weeks. And so on that vacation, I didn't do any of the YouTube work that I thought I was going to do. I'm not sure if I really thought I was going to do any work. I just brought it with me in case, and I didn't do any of it. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I also recorded a little bit while I was there, so I guess I did do something. I have some audio of me talking to my family, and so I have a couple of stories there, which I may or may not add into this video, but I did kind of want to also talk really quickly about other things that are going on, like a little update on what happened to the bees in my house. So the last time I left off, there was kind of no ending to that, and literally the day that I filmed that audio, someone came to check out what the problem was, and they didn't have an answer at all as to where they were coming from, why they were in our house, or how to stop the problem, really. Also, a couple days after that, someone just came into my apartment and they just duct taped over this one hole that they thought the bees were coming from. So maybe that's where they were coming from, and maybe that's gonna fix the problem. Another big reason that this video has taken so long for me to finish is because I had a really hard time staying motivated with this specific project. I don't know, and I cannot say for sure, that part of that lack of motivation comes from the fact that I actually got Animal Crossing like I've wanted for a while. So I've been kind of playing a lot of that, and I've only had it for about a month, and I've logged a significant amount of hours on it. I don't know, there's just something about it, and it's really fun to play, and it's relaxing, and it's chill, and I really kind of like that right now. I actually took some video footage of me playing it, so I'm gonna insert that so you can see a little bit of my island. Ding! Yay! Welcome to Animal Crossing, where I spend 20 minutes making my perfect self. Alright. Yeah, it says you can change it later. Okay. It's good enough, I guess. The question is, Jen, which one looks more Shakespearean to you? So now I'm gonna have to go find people and be like, hey, be my friend. Oh, that's a terrible picture. Oh, I have a Kevin on my island. You're kidding me.
Wait, you're on this deserted island with other people?
There's a couple animals. Okay. Okay. Where should I live? How do you pick stuff up? Nope. Can you even? How do you? Alright, I guess I can't pick anything up because I don't know how to do it. I don't know anything about this game. It's not really beautifully decorated at all. I'm really bad at decorating, and I don't have all the things that I kind of think I would want to decorate my island with. There are other things that I enjoy in the game. I love the museum. There's something about the aquarium that makes me really want to go to an aquarium. It makes me miss aquariums. It really does feel like kind of like a zoo with all of the bugs and then the fossils, which I love. So I just, in general, love the museum. I think probably the best out of the whole game. So I'm trying to complete getting everything into the museum and getting everything found on the island that I possibly can. Of course, you know, with this game, there's only so many that you can catch during whatever month or season that you're in. So, of course, there's going to be gaps until it's been about a year since I got the game or something. But I really want that, so it's probably going to be something that I keep playing for at least a year. Oh, I forgot to mention that while I was on vacation visiting my family, I actually found my Pokemon binder full of all of my Pokemon cards from when I was a kid. And I have a lot more than I thought that I did with certain generations. I have up to, I believe, Generation 3 mostly. I have a couple of Generation 4 cards. Of course, the most filled out generation that I have is the original 151. So if you see those cards sort of in the pictures that I use on like Instagram, that's where they're from. I'm missing, I think, 20 of the original 151, which makes me a little bit sad because it's so close to being finished and a whole set. I guess I just didn't collect them all when I was a kid. Kind of makes me want to go back and find the 20 cards that I'm missing just so I can have a complete set. But I'm worried that the cards that I am missing are going to be on the expensive end. So I don't know. It would be fun to have a whole Pokemon card set along with the full crocheted set, but those are dreams, so they may or may not come true. While I was crocheting this evolution, I was trying to think of any bird stories that I had, because when I do these, I like to have themed stories. So I tried to think of some, and I talked to my family about it, and we came up with a couple.
What kind of stories are we talking? Dangerous? No, okay. So, does anyone have any stories involving birds? And so I'm trying to think of if I even remembered any stories in terms of birds.
Like, I don't remember this myself because I was too young, but I remember, what was it?
Now I recall a bird story that involves Victor.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember
I know
which bird story I'm talking about, bro?
Is it the one where, like, I ate something I should never have eaten?
Yes.
Yes, that is correctly guessed, my brother. So, one of the times we went out to the beach when we were kids with Mom, was anyone else with us there? Like one of Mom's friends, or was it just us?
It might have just been us. I don't remember.
Okay. So, we decided to do this picnic on a beach, right? And included in said picnic were M&Ms. And you know when you're on the beach, you always get birds flying around you, seagulls flying around, kind of trying to get the food that you have. We apparently, while we were out there, we started throwing M&Ms at these birds, and one of them picked it up and immediately spat it back out. I guess it didn't like the taste of the candy coating. And little Victor runs over to this M&M and puts it in his mouth. And I believe he ate it. Would you say that's accurate?
He ate it. He ate the M&M.
Anyway, Victor didn't die from seagull spit M&Ms.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers. That's one of the only bird stories that I know.
Yeah. I feel like there were times when birds would get stuck in places that I heard about, but I was never there. In my apartment one time in college, my roommates said a bird got in, and I was taking a nap, I guess, because they said a bird got in, and they were all screaming. And I remember that I told them I heard them screaming. I think I did, but I don't know what I thought. And they're like, you thought, but we could have been murdered. And I was like, it was a bird, so.
From the bird was gonna
Yeah,
go?
the bird murderer. The birderer.
The bird, oh.
So as you can tell, there are not very many stories that we have, including birds. I'm not sure why that is. I guess we've never been very close to birds, so we don't really have a lot of stories unfortunately, about that, which does not bode well for Spiro and Firo, which are coming up. Don't judge me if you think I pronounce those things wrong. I don't remember exactly where I learned how to pronounce these things, and so they're just kind of ingrained in me the way that they were, and I'm not sure where I got those from. So maybe I'm completely wrong. The only way to tell is if I post this and someone tells me that I am so wrong on how I pronounce these things. But I'm pretty sure that Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot, I have those correct. So another thing that I like to do when I'm trying to think of stories and experiences that I could potentially talk about in videos like this one is I look through questions from these journal jar things, which you can find questions for journal jars online. And the reason why I use them is because I have a lot of good prompts for things that you could potentially talk about. Another good way would be to look back through my actual journals. And I was thinking about looking through those while I was home, and then I just didn't do it. So I don't know, I'm kind of worried about looking through what I thought was important to write down in high school, but maybe next time I'm there I can take a look and see if there's anything funny enough to add into a story. But back on track with these journal jar prompts. The reason why I bring it up is because someone sent me a list of these prompts, and like I said, I love these things. I think they're really great to ask people and like get down stories that you might not think of off the top of your head. And this specific one had questions in it that I had never seen before, and I thought were kind of funny, because one of the questions is, how do you feel about dentists and why? That just made me laugh because, I mean, of course we all have opinions of dentists, but I don't know, writing it down, I just think it's hilarious that that is included in the list of questions. Because, you know, there's very normal ones, like favorite games you played as a child, talk about your pets, that kind of thing. And then just at the very end, how do you feel about dentists? I don't know. If you're writing a journal, maybe include that in your entry, how you feel about dentists and dentistry, because apparently that's something that people might want to know later down the line, how you felt about dentists. I will say though, after my vacation, it is great to be back home. I missed Kratos. If you were watching any bit of my Animal Crossing stuff and you saw that my island was named Kratos K, yeah, that's after my cat. I missed him. I'm very excited to be back and working on these projects again. I know I keep saying things like I'm going to be working on this and this and this, and I don't always get around to doing those projects, and I guess you can kind of blame Animal Crossing for that, but I am going to try my hardest to be better at doing this and getting patterns out there available to people, because I get questioned a few times on that, like where the pattern is available and when I'm going to get them out, and I'm going to work on it. I absolutely promise. I'm going to get some patterns out on Etsy, and you can head over there and support me in that way. Writing patterns that I feel are clear and concise is going to take me a little time. I promise that I am going to get patterns out by the end of summer. I have to give myself deadlines like this, guys. I don't know if you have this problem, but I have this problem where if I don't give myself a specific deadline and I tell someone about it, then I kind of just don't meet that deadline. So I have to say a specific deadline. I'm going to get it out by the end of summer. I will have patterns on Etsy available to purchase. Okay? Okay. Sounds good. I don't personally think that I write patterns that are too difficult to understand or follow. However, since I'm the one writing them and I've been doing it for so long, I would think that. So hopefully they will be somewhat simpler patterns that are easy for people to follow. I've read patterns before that I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't want to be that kind of pattern writer. I want to make it easy for people to understand and they're easy to follow. I'm thinking about adding in a lot of pictures to help, because I know that helps me. I'm a very visual learner. But again, to do all of that, it requires time and effort. And yes, I will be putting that in. I guess just let me know down in the comments below which patterns that you guys want me to start out with. I have a lot of patterns that I've just done on this channel specifically that I could choose from, and I don't know if I'd be able to type them all up before the end of summer because even though you see all the patterns and I've written the patterns down, but typically the way I write patterns down is by hand, so I will have to go back through and type everything up in a way that makes sense. Because also when I write patterns, I do a lot of shorthand, which may or may not help anyone else but me. At any rate, I'm just about done with this evolution, so I'm going to jump right into those glam shots. Like always, there are favorites that I have among them. Some of them, it's not the fault of their own, it's the placement of certain things, which is all done based on how I sew things together. So if you were to make them, they will probably look different, maybe even better, I don't know. Looking back at them, a couple of things I would change. I think I would make Pidgeotto's red feather here a little bit longer. I wouldn't have sewed Pidgey to look like he had a permanent sneer. That being said, I think Pidgey might be my favorite. As for Pidgeot, I think he's probably one of my favorite third tier Pokemon. I will say when I was looking at the size charts for these Pokemon, of course I'm not going completely by size charts because my Weedle is pretty big compared to this Pidgey. I was surprised that Pidgeot is actually one of the biggest original 151. I did not know that. I felt okay making him kind of big this time around because he did kind of turn out huge and I wasn't really expecting that. Yeah, I'd have to say overall I'm pretty happy with them. I'm happy they're done. Like I say in like all of my videos, that's kind of how it always ends up. I'm just happy that they're done with. I think the next few evolutions are only 2 Pokemon a piece, so I'm looking forward to a little bit of relaxation in that, maybe not so much procrastination because I've been doing that, and if I think that there's less work to be done, then I'm gonna procrastinate again, so I should probably not even think about it in terms of that. So at any rate, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me crochet these guys because I certainly had fun making them, and I hope I see you in my next video. Bye!